Today we are going to start our new topic, that is Charles law. Before moving towards Charles law, I'm going to tell you about absolute temperature scale, because this term absolute temperature is used in the statement of Charles law. Here you can see the volume of a given mass of a gas is directly proportional to the absolute temperature if the pressure is kept constant. So you must know about this term absolute temperature. This the scale to calculate the absolute temperature is introduced by Lord Kelvin. That's why the scale is also called as Kelvin scale. On this scale we can calculate the temperature which is start from 0 Kelvin, that is equals to minus 273 degrees Celsius. The name is given to this temperature scale is absolute zero, because the Kelvin scale is start from 0 Kelvin, not below the 0. Here you can see the Kelvin scale is start from 0 Kelvin, and this 0 Kelvin is equals to minus 273 degrees Celsius. So on Celsius scale, this Kelvin is equals to minus 273 degrees Celsius. What is this absolute zero? It is the temperature. It is the temperature at which an ideal gas would have zero volume. Ideal gases having a zero volume. So this is the temperature. This absolute zero is the temperature where scientists consider that volume of gases will be zero. So both the scales having some range. Here you can see 0 to 273 Kelvin, and this is minus 273 degrees Celsius to 0. You can change both the scales. If the temperature is given in Celsius, you can change it into Kelvin, or if the temperature is given in Kelvin, so you can change it into Celsius temperature. Let's see how you can change it. If the temperature is given in Celsius, so you have to add 273 in that temperature. It will be converted into Kelvin. अगर टेम्परेचर सेल्सियस में दिया हो लाइक 20 डिग्री सेल्सियस, सो आप प्लस कर दीजिए 273, तो आपका टेम्परेचर सेल्सियस से केल्विन में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा. इन केस अगर टेम्परेचर केल्विन में गिवन हो तो आप उसे सेल्सियस में कैसे कर सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल टेम्परेचर इज गिवन 20 केल्विन, तो आप उसमें से माइनस कर दीजिए 273, तो आपका टेम्परेचर सेल्सियस में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा. नाउ मूव टुवर्ड्स चार्ल्स लॉ. Charles' law is basically the relationship between volume and temperature when you are keeping pressure constant. Boyle's law में अगर आपको याद हो तो हमने पढ़ा था relationship between volume and pressure और temperature constant था. But in Charles' law there is a relationship between volume and temperature when you are keeping pressure constant. So ये डिफरेंस है चार्ल्स और बॉयल्स लॉ में कि बॉयल्स लॉ में हम टेम्परेचर कांस्टेंट लेकर वॉल्यूम और प्रेशर में रिलेशन फाइंड आउट करते हैं, और चार्ल्स लॉ में प्रेशर कांस्टेंट रख के वॉल्यूम और टेम्परेचर में रिलेशन निकालते हैं. Well, this Charles law was stated by French scientist Jacques Charles in 1787. In 1787, Jacques Charles stated this law as the volume of a given mass of a gas is directly proportional to the absolute temperature if the pressure is kept constant. So there is a direct relationship between volume and temperature, which means if you are increasing temperature, volume will increase. Or if you are decreasing temperature, volume will decrease. अगर आपको याद हो तो बॉयज लॉ में हमने इनवर्स रिलेशन पढ़ा था. If the pressure is increased, the volume will decrease. But in a direct relation, if one variable increases, other variable also increases. So the volume of a given mass of a gas, which means the amount of gas is also constant. If you want to verify this law, then it is important to take the exact amount of gas all the time. And pressure must be constant. Here you can see the mathematical form of Charles' law. Volume is directly proportional to temperature. So which can be represented as V, which means volume is directly proportional to temperature. If you want to remove this proportionality sign, so you have to add proportionality constant. So V is equals to K T. Due to this proportionality constant, we can change this proportionality sign into equals to. V divided by T is equals to K. Temperature multiplication में है proportionality constant के साथ. On the other side of equation, it will be in a division. So volume divided by time is equals to proportionality constant. For example, initial volume is V1 and the initial temperature is T1. That is equals to K. If you are increasing the temperature, the new temperature is T2 and the new volume will be V2. That will be equals to K. All the time the value of K will be same if you are taking temperature in Kelvin. Absolute temperature means the take temperature in Kelvin, not in Celsius or Fahrenheit. If you are taking temperature in Kelvin, then the value of K, the value of the proportionality constant will be same. As we know, if the one side of equation is same, here you can see in this equation there is a K on one side and in this equation there is also a K on one side. So if one side of equation is equal, then we can equate the other side of equation. We can take the other variables equal. So here you can see V1 over T1 is equals to V2 over T2. This is the equation of Charles' law. Now move towards experimental verification. Take a cylinder, here you can see, which is attached with the movable piston, which is having a movable piston. Initial volume is 50 centimeter cube and initial temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. This temperature is increased to 100 degrees Celsius. Here you can see the temperature is increased to 100 degrees Celsius. The new volume is 62.5 centimeter cube. So it is proved that if you are increasing the temperature, the volume will increase. Remember, if you are doing problems related to Charles law always convert Celsius temperature to Kelvin. जब भी प्रॉब्लम्स में न्यूमेरिकल्स में टेम्परेचर सेल्सियस में दिया हो तो आपने उसे क्विकली केल्विन में चेंज कर लेना है और आपको बताया है कि आप केल्विन में कैसे कर सकते हैं सेल्सियस का टेम्परेचर जो भी गिवन हो उसमें ऐड कर दीजिए 273 तो आपका टेम्परेचर केल्विन में चेंज हो जाएगा लेट्स डिस्कस प्रॉब्लम 5.3 Here you can see the problem. A sample of oxygen gas have a volume of 250 centimeter cube. So there is a cylinder on which there is a gas molecules. Initial volume is 250 centimeter cube. And the initial temperature is minus 30 degree Celsius. So quickly change this temperature into Kelvin. How you can change this temperature? You can change the temperature into Kelvin by adding 273. So minus 30 plus 273. So minus plus minus 243 Kelvin will be the new value. There will be the positive sign because with the bigger value there is a positive sign. So here you can see the conversion. If gas is allowed to expand to 500 centimeter cube at constant pressure, because we know in our Charles law the pressure which is applied is constant. So they are saying volume is increased. So the new volume is now, for example, 700 centimeter cube. Now piston is moved here. Find out its final temperature. You have to calculate the temperature, the final temperature. As we know, if the volume is increased, अगर volume increase हुआ है 250 centimeter cube से 700 centimeter cube तक, तो definitely temperature increase हुआ है. Because volume increase हुआ है, that means temperature increase करने की वजह से gases के molecules में random movement start हो गई. और due to that random movement, they collide with each other, they collide with the walls, they collide with this piston. So due to that collision, due to that movement, those molecules of gas will move this piston towards upward. Initial piston की position ये थी तो वो movement की वजह से molecules की kinetic energy increase होने की वजह से ये जो gas के molecules हैं उनकी kinetic energy increase हो गई temperature increase करने से तो ये ऊपर की तरफ piston move कर जाएगा. That's why ये temperature volume increase हुआ है. So हमें confirm है कि temperature minus 30 डिग्री सेल्सियस से increase हुआ है तभी volume increased है. So let's calculate this, that how much temperature is increased. In a Kelvin, there is a temperature 243 Kelvin. So let's see what will be T2 in Kelvin. As we know, the equation of Charles law is V1 over T1 is equals to V2 over T2. We have to calculate this T2. So take it on the other side of equation because it is in a division and we don't need it in division. So rearrange this equation. T2 is in a division. On the other side of equation, it will be in a multiplication like this. V1 in a multiplication. On the other side of equation, it will be in a division like V1. And this temperature T1 is in a division. So on the other side of equation, it will be in a multiplication. So you can see here, the equation is rearranged. Now put the values. V2 is 700 centimeter cube. T1 is 243 Kelvin and V1 is 250 centimeter cube. Here you can see in a data also. All the values are given and we have to calculate the final temperature. Multiply 700 with the 243 and divide this with 250. Your temperature will be 680.4 Kelvin. So इस बात का प्रूफ मिल गया है कि टेम्परेचर 243 केल्विन से 680 तक इंक्रीज हुआ जिसकी वजह से वॉल्यूम 250 सेंटीमीटर क्यूब से 700 सेंटीमीटर क्यूब तक इंक्रीज हो गया. Let's move towards problem number 2, means example 5.4. Okay, here we have a example 5.4. A sample of hydrogen gas occupied a volume 160 centimeter cube. So initial volume is 160 centimeter cube at 30 degrees Celsius. Initial temperature is 30 degree Celsius. You have to change this temperature into Kelvin by adding 273. So it will be equals to 303 Kelvin. If its temperature is raised initially in a container, T1 is 303 Kelvin and volume V1 is 160 centimeter cube. Now temperature is increased. New temperature is 100 degrees Celsius. Calculate what will be its volume if the pressure remains constant. Pressure remains constant. This term is confirmed that this is a Charles law, the problem related to Charles law. अगर आपको ये ना भी कहा जाए प्रॉब्लम में कि प्रेशर रिमेन्स कांस्टेंट तो आपको पता है कि वॉल्यूम की वैल्यूज गिवन है और टेम्परेचर की. So there are two variables, volume and temperature. So when there are two variables, volume and temperature, then Charles law is applied. And when there is a two variables, volume and pressure, then Boyle's law is applied. So new temperature 100 degrees Celsius. It is definitely confirmed that volume will increase because we are increasing the temperature. So the new temperature is T2. So new volume will be V2. We have to calculate this new volume because as I told you before, if you are increasing temperature, the kinetic energy of molecules of gases will increase and they start moving randomly. Due to that random motion, they collide with each other, they collide with the walls and move this piston upward. इस पिस्टन को अपवर्ड मूव करवा देंगे अपने काइनेटिक मोशन की वजह से, अपनी काइनेटिक एनर्जी की वजह से, जिसकी वजह से वॉल्यूम इंक्रीज हो जाएगा. सो लेट्स सी. This is the equation of Charles law. We have to calculate V2. So rearrange this equation. T2 in division. So on the other side of equation, it will be in a multiplication. So here you can see V1 over T1 multiplied by T2 and V2 is separated. Now put the values. V1 is 160 centimeter cube. T2 is 373 Kelvin. T1 is 303 Kelvin. Also here you can see 100 degrees Celsius is also changed into Kelvin scale. So remember, always change Celsius scale into Kelvin. Calculate these values. Your answer will be 196.9 centimeter cube. Initially volume was 160 centimeter cube. When you have increased temperature to 100 degrees Celsius or 373 Kelvin from 303 Kelvin, temperature is increased, volume is increased 196.9 centimeter cube. So in a Charles law, according to Charles law, if you are increasing the temperature, the volume will increase, but remember pressure remains constant. If you are applying pressure on this piston, the pressure is not constant, then the gas molecules start moving due to the increase of temperature, but they are not capable to move this piston upward. क्योंकि ऊपर से भी हम प्रेशर अप्लाई कर रहे हैं इस पिस्टन पे, उसे मूव होने नहीं दे रहे, तो काइनेटिक एनर्जी अगर मॉलिक्यूल्स की इतनी ना हुई कि उस प्रेशर को ओवरकम कर सकें तो कि पिस्टन मूव नहीं कर सकता. सो इसलिए प्रेशर हम हमेशा कांस्टेंट रखते हैं. वन मोर थिंग दैट यू हैव टू रिमेंबर इज, हम सेल्सियस स्केल के साथ डिग्री का साइन यूज करते हैं बट केल्विन के साथ नहीं. आप बचपन से पढ़ते आ रहे हैं, हमेशा आपने नोटिस किया होगा कि डिग्री सेल्सियस, डिग्री फ़ारेनहाइट, इनके साथ डिग्री लगा होता है, लेकिन केल्विन के साथ कभी भी हम डिग्री नहीं लगाते. क्यों? डिग्री का मतलब होता है टू डिग्रीज. डिग्री मीन्स टू डिग्रीज. सेल्सियस स्केल और फ़ारेनहाइट स्केल डिक्रीज कर जाते हैं जीरो से भी, माइनस में इनकी वैल्यूज चली जाती है, जीरो से भी डिक्रीज हो जाती है, माइनस में आ जाती है. लेकिन केल्विन स्केल में कभी भी वैल्यू जीरो से कम नहीं होती. अभी जब आपको एब्सोल्यूट स्केल बताया था तो आपने उसमें भी देखा था कि केल्विन स्केल स्टार्ट ही जीरो से होता है, तो इसकी वैल्यू जीरो से डिक्रीज ही नहीं करती. दैट्स वाई हम डिग्री का साइन इसके साथ यूज नहीं करते.